Yo, thank you for tuning in. In this video, we will be reviewing the Team GX-26 Junior mountain bike. We will take a closer look at all its components, specific parts on the bike, and later on in the video, we will have a look at the Zoom suspension fork and how much travel it has. Also stay with us till the very end to see how the bike handles on a bit of light trail use and some slopes on the trail. So let's get back into it. First of all, the bike itself is a turquoise blue color. It weighs about 17 kgs is what is said on the box. The wheels are 26-inch rims, the tires are 26 by 1.75 on the width. The bike itself is a 16-inch steel octagon frame. The frame is not oval or circle like a tube, it's more shaped like a square octagon shaped frame. It weighs a little heavy compared to my bike. My full suspension mountain bike weighs about 11 kgs. This one weighs 16 to 17 kgs roughly. I just wanted to take a moment to thank all my subscribers for subscribing and showing us support. My most recent subscribers, D-Boz, Fire Elite, Nadia, and Super Pokemon Warrior. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Now moving on to the front of the bike, it has the suspension forks from Zoom. There's no labeling on it to say how much travel it has, but measuring the stanchions from the top part of the lowers up to the crown with a ruler was 9 centimeters, which is roughly about 90 millimeters. But then I don't think you'll get all of that travel. I'd say roughly somewhere between 60 and 70 millimeters of travel from compressing the fork is about what I can tell, and I don't think you'll get any more than that. Now we're moving on to the brakes. The front and rear have cable V brakes. The brake levers have a power branding labeled underneath of them. The main body of the brake is made out of plastic, black colored, while the levers are a silver metallic color, and they're quite firm. I would have preferred to see disc brakes over rim brakes on the bike, because with rim brakes, when the pad makes contact with the wall of the rim, it causes it to wear over time and it gets thinner and thinner, which causes the rim of the wheel to weaken over time, which in turn is an issue. So it is what it is. We have a raised handlebar which is held in place by the handlebar clamp, which is secured with 2 Allen bolts, which you need to tighten evenly one at a time. Now moving on to the rear of the bike, we also have mechanical V brakes, which are also really nice. We also have a kickstand which comes with the bike, and then you also have the wheel hub. Now moving on to the saddle. The seat post clamp doesn't have a quick release to adjust the height, to lower it, or to bring it up a little bit. You will need to use an Allen key to loosen and tighten the seat post clamp. Other than that, the saddle itself is really nice. The color and the texture of the saddle is quite nice. It's a mountain/road type saddle from what I can see. And the only branding on it is the team logo on the saddle, which is really nice. It's color coded to match the bike. Now going back to the handlebar, as you can see the handlebar is raised, is not flat. It's got a rise in the handlebar, not too sure by how much. The controls for the gear, we got SunRace twist shifters. We got a 3-speed for the chain rings, and we got a 6-speed shifter for the rear derailleur. The twist grip shifters are quite nice, and they're quite smooth as well. They click as they shift into gears, so you can tell when the gears shift. It's really nice. You also have cutouts for numbers to see what gears you're in as well, which is really cool. Now moving along to the gear cables and the brake cables, which are semi-housed, meaning they are exposed in the middle and only have small amounts of housings on both ends. The brake cables run under the top tube for the rear brake, while the gear cables run under the down tube. The reason why I prefer the gear cables to be under the top tube and not the down tube is because with the middle section exposed, the wheels throw up dust and dirt onto the cables under the down tube, and then they run all the way down under the bottom bracket as well, which I don't like, because sometimes if you go over a rock or something a little bit steep and you scrape your bottom bracket or the bottom of your bottom bracket on the frame, you can scrape the cables, even snap them off completely or damage them, especially where it's not housed in the middle. That is the only thing I don't like about the bike, where the gear cables run under the down tube and all the way under the bottom bracket, and they're exposed as well. They're not covered in a housing. Other than that, they seem to be working fine, but over time we will tell. As you can see, the seat stay and the chain stay have black stripes, stickers with branding on them from the team logo. And it also has a Shimano sticker for the chain whip on the chainstay as a chainstay protector. Moving on to the rear of the bike, we have a 6-speed cassette from Super Win. It has a 14 tooth on the smallest cog and 28 tooth on the bigger cog. We also have a bash guard to protect the derailleur, and we have a Shimano Tony 6-speed derailleur which has SIS indexing. Well, from what I can see on the derailleur, I can see an upper and a lower limit screw, but I don't see a B limit screw, which is normally used to adjust the height between the upper jockey wheel and the large cog on your cassette. The upper jockey wheel is used as a guide wheel, while the lower jockey wheel is used as a tension wheel on the derailleur. Nice thing about having a bash guard for the derailleur, with it being a kid's bike, they tend to just drop their bikes, lay them on the floor, bash them against anything. It'll keep the derailleur from getting bent. Now moving on to the crankset. The crankset seems to be non-branded. I don't see any brand marking on the crankset. We have plastic pedals, and then on the chain ring also I don't seem to see any branding on it. We have a 3x chain ring, and then we also have a chain guide derailleur which is a 3-speed. And also with the chain rings, there's an outer ring which acts as a bash guard as well as keeping the chain from dropping off. Other than that, I don't seem to see any branding on it. It does look nice. It's all black, and that's it. Now moving on to the bottom bracket, we have a thread-in bottom bracket with plastic cups. The threaded bottom bracket has bearings sitting inside it, which the crankshaft runs through, and that's all I can tell you. I'll put up some diagrams on the screen for the bottom bracket and the headset bearings on it, and I'll put up a diagram for the torque settings for the specific parts of the bike. Now we're gonna move on to the chain, which is a KMC 6-speed chain, which is quite nice. We're gonna lube the chain with a bit of muck off wet lube. Where we are in Wales, it's near the coastline, so the weather's not always predictable. It's raining all the time or most of the time, so even when it's summer it rains, so we use wet lube on our chains. Don't use any of that dry lube. So also just wanted to show you how the suspension forks look when they're being compressed. As you can see how much travel you get when I put my full weight on the bike, from the front and from the side. They feel quite smooth and plush for junior mountain bike suspension forks. I believe they got coil springs in them, and that's all the information I have on the forks for the time being. The headset has 2 sets of bearings which sit in ball retainers for the bearings, which sit in cups. The top cup is adjustable, which has a lock nut to secure it in place. The headset also has 3 spacers to take up any slack and to tighten down the headset to the steerer tube of the fork. Also the cassette freehub body, which has a pawl ratchet system design. When the wheel's coasting or freewheeling, or when the wheel's just spinning without pedaling, it makes that clicking sound from where the pawls go in and the spring pushes them back out. So you get that clicking sound, so take a listen. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that the bike also comes with a kickstand, which is really nice and convenient, especially with the kids. They tend to lay the bike down a lot, so with the kickstand they'll keep it standing and not lay it down on the floor. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, here are some clips of the bike in our local trails, hitting some local slopes. To find out how the bike handled and to see the full video, please stay tuned, hit the like, subscribe, and I will have a full video of the bike out on the trail coming up soon. Thank you for watching and see you all next time. Bye.